Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So I'm starting the next segment of cooking with our kids, or whatever I'm calling it, but that's what I'm starting with. So today we're going to make grilled cheese sandwiches, but we're going to do them a little different. We're going to do rolled grilled cheese sandwiches, and we're going to do 2 pieces of bread, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. One's going to have shredded cheese on it, and the other one's going to have a cheese slice. And we're going to see which one works out better. But this is something quick and easy that you can do with your kids. All you need is bread, rolling pin, cheese, butter, and a skillet. Or you can use whatever you cook your grilled cheese sandwiches on. All right, so let's get going on the first meal. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 slices of bread, and I have my rolling pin. I'm going to move one slice out of the way, and we're just going to kind of squish the bread. Now I'm going to get the other piece, and I'm going to do the same. We're just going to roll it out till it's all squished. Okay, and then on one of them, I'm going to put a slice of cheese. I'm just using regular sliced American cheese. But you can use whatever kind of cheese you like to use. This is what I just grabbed out of the refrigerator. Okay, and then we're just going to roll this up. Move it off to the side and hope it doesn't unroll. I think I'll squish it a little more so it doesn't. Okay, and then we're going to use shredded cheese. Now, I'm just using the shredded cheese that I had from whenever I made tacos last. I had some cheese left over, so I'm just going to put it on here. I'm just going to kind of squish it in a little bit. And I'm not sure which one's going to be better, so we will find out together. All right, so I'm just going to roll this up. Hope the cheese stays in. Okay, now we're going to head on over to the stove to cook it there. All right, so let's get going on over there. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of butter. Instead of adding the butter on the bread itself, we're just going to add it into the pan. And then we're going to turn it on. We're going to get it nice and hot. I'm going to add a little more butter. And I need a spatula to get them out. All right, so let's get this butter going. Get the pan nice and hot. All right, so we're just going to set them in there. I might turn this one over. Okay. So you're just going to cook them like you would normally cook a grilled cheese sandwich. The only difference is that these are rolled up. So you could roll these up, make them, and add some tomato soup. And they can dip them in the tomato soup if you wanted to. Or you can also add some lunch meat to this if you wanted to, like maybe some ham or something. That's up to you. But it's super simple, and we'll see which one turns out the best. Oh, that one, the cheese is falling out of, dang it. So we are just going to have to squish it in there a little bit. Add a little more butter. Oh yeah, look at how brown it's getting. It's browning up real nice. The cheese is all melted. All right, let me grab a plate and I'm going to plate it up and then we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to turn off that. Okay, so we're back over here and I'm going to cut into each one so you can see what it looks like. Whew, it is warm, hot. And I'm burning my fingers. Okay, so this was the sliced cheese and this was the shredded, and I'm not seeing any difference. So I think you could do whatever you wanted. All right, so on to the next recipe. Hi, Grandma Debbie here. I'm just checking my mic. Sorry about that, guys. So we're doing the next recipe for our Cooking with Children segment. So we're going to make crispy chicken. Now, this is a fairly simple recipe, but you will need to work with your kids a little bit on it, but I think that that'll be fun. So I've washed my chicken. I don't usually do that, but the recipe said to do it, and I thought, well, maybe there's a reason for it. So I've washed it. I've patted it dry. It's sitting there. This is cooked in the oven, and so I've got my oven preheating to 375, and so we're going to get started. All right, so let's get going on this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we have a plastic bag here. We have a Ziploc bag, and we're going to add in to our Ziploc bag, we're going to add in 2 cups of potato chips. I'm just using Lay's potato chips. And I don't know if they're supposed to be squished or exactly how they're supposed to be. You are going to, so I might just, instead of weighing them out, measure them, I can't even speak. I'm just going to do a couple handfuls. Let's just go with that and say it's good. Because you are going to squish it or mash it, whatever you want to call it. We're going to make it crumbly. I'm going to do just a tad bit more. Okay. We're going to move that off to the side, and then we're going to take Rice Krispie cereal, and we're going to do 1.5 cups of this. And I'm going to dump it all over the counter. Because it wouldn't be cooking without me doing something like that. Okay, so we're going to dump that in. Now we're going to do a half cup more. Okay. Let me close up the box of cereal and get it out of the way. Okay. So now we get out some of the air. Now we're going to take our rolling pin and we're just going to crumble it all up. And now we're going to take it and we're going to add it to a bowl. Once again, I'm going to spill it all over the kitchen. Okay, and then in the other bowl, we are going to add 1 egg. Ooh, I really did make a huge mess, guys. All right, we're going to add an egg. We're going to mix it up. Now, if you need to add more, more egg mixture, you are more than welcome to. And I'm looking at the amount of chicken I have. I may add one more egg. It's not going to hurt. Let me get one more egg. It calls for a large egg, and while the packaging on my egg says large, I don't think they are. I think they're more of a medium. Okay. And to this, we're going to add in milk. So because I added 2 eggs, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of milk. Okay, and we're going to mix that up. All right, and to the bread mixture, or the crumbs, we're going to add some pepper. I'm just going to eyeball it, and then we're just going to kind of mix it up a little bit. All right, now I'm going to get my casserole dish. Now, the recipe doesn't say anything about putting oil in the in here, in the casserole dish or in the baking dish, whatever you're going to use. So I'm just going to add some cooking spray. Okay, need to make myself some room. Let me lift this camera up a little bit so you can see a little better. Okay. All right, so my oven is ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm using thighs and legs, but you can use whatever you happen to have. Let me mix this up a little bit better. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do this with one hand going into the wet. I always mess this up, guys. One hand going into the dry. If there is a way to mess it up, I'm going to find it. And you want to pat it in there and get it in there. And you're going to cook it skin side up. Now you can also, if you don't want to do it with skin, you don't have to. You can use boneless. It's completely up to you. We just happen to have thighs with the skin and bones, and I wasn't going to debone it. And when you put it in the oven, you're going to cook it for about 45 to 55 minutes, depending on how long it takes to cook. Now I'm going to look at mine halfway through, and I may I may actually turn them. There's a good possibility that I will. It doesn't say to do that, it just says to cook it, but I like to make for sure it's going to get crispy all the way around. And it is funny, they do say to cook it until you pull a piece out and you check it and you cut into it, and if it's no longer pink, then it's good. That was the way I grew up checking chicken, but I'm sure that some of you have probably grown up using the meat thermometer. So I will probably use a meat thermometer. Okay, so I still have some of the stuff left, so I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top. Kind of squish it in there. Okay, all right, so this is ready to go into the oven, and I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Okay, so I'm going to get the chicken in the oven, and I will bring you back when it's cooked. Oh, and I will be serving this with a salad tonight. All right, so I'll bring you back soon. Okay, so I got the chicken out of the oven. I did not do the slice into it. I actually used a meat thermometer. And so you want your chicken to be 165 degrees at the fattest part to ensure that it is cooked. And as you can tell, it looks extremely crispy. So I think I'm going to let it cool for just a few minutes, and then we're going to enjoy it. Okay, so that was recipe 2 for our Cooking with Children. And I've got one more recipe planned, and I think it's going to be a great one. So I will bring you around for that one. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So I'm now doing the final recipe in this Cooking with Kids segment. And so we're doing, pardon me, we are doing something that my mom used to do a lot. She would take peanut butter and syrup and mix it together. We didn't use a lot of jellies. She rarely bought jam or jelly. And so this was her way of sweetening up our peanut butter for us. So my husband's going to do the taste test. So, and he gets to choose between putting it on pretzels or on crackers. But you can make this into a peanut butter sandwich. You can put it on celery, or you can put it on crackers, or dip your pretzels in it, whatever you want to do. All right, so we're going to get going on this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of peanut butter, and you can use whatever peanut butter you want to use. I'm just using what we have, which is Skippy. So I'm just going to put a little bit in each bowl. And a little bit more over here. Okay, and then I'm just going to add, you can use real maple syrup if that's what you have, but we just use, this is Butterworth's. So I'm going to add just a tad bit into that, and you're just going to dump a little bit in there, not a whole lot. And you're going to mix it up until it's all mixed and nice and creamy. I think I'll add just a tad bit more. And that's what it's going to look like with the syrup. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with Caro syrup. Just going to add a little bit. So my mom would use whatever she happened to have. Whoa. And so it was just whatever she happened to have on hand is what we used. Okay, so we got them both mixed up. And so now my husband is going to come and join us, and he's going to taste test them. And which do you want to do, pretzels or?
I don't care. Let's start with pretzels.
Okay.
I don't know which one's which, or do I know which one's which?
I don't know. I don't think so, but. All right, so there's some pretzels for you. You don't have to eat them all. Let's get his face.
Got to get way up there. Hi, folks.
I do. What do you think of it? Now, he's never had this before.
It's really good.
Okay.
Makes the peanut butter sweet. Now, I will admit, I'm not sure what happened here, but
Yeah. What do you think of that one?
I don't like that one very much.
Okay.
I like the syrup one. It's nice. I'm a pretzels and a peanut butter snack person,
anyway.
but this is really good.
Do you want to try it on a cracker, or it's just okay?
This is perfect.
Okay.
Good job.
Well, thank you. Too bad it didn't. The other one didn't taste right, but you know, everybody's got their own taste.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So this was the final recipe that we were going to do in this segment, and my husband's head is chopped off. It's what happens when you have a height difference.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming along with us on this journey. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share button, and we will talk to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.